Hi, it's Conor Svensson here, founder and CEO of Web3 Labs, and this is your Week in Crypto on Monday, the 1st of November 2021. This week's events include Ether hitting an all-time high, Binance's marketplace beta launch, CoinList achieving a $1.5 billion valuation, and FATF releasing its crypto guidance. The crypto market cap this week finished up just shy of 3% at 2.6 trillion. The Ethereum's Ether token, which is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, reached a new all-time high this week of $4,416.05, according to CoinGecko. As with all these all-time highs, it's jumped up and then went back down again, but it was certainly a big event. It's hitting this new milestone here. Some of the speculation in terms of what caused it was the a hard fork happening, one of the building blocks of the transition to Ethereum 2.0 taking place successfully, but beyond that really it's just speculation, but it's certainly good news for holders of the cryptocurrency. BlockFi and Neuberger Berman have created a new business that's focused on building out crypto ETFs and other funds. So BlockFi is a crypto financial services company, and Neuberger Berman is a investment manager, and what they're looking at doing is having crypto products as exchange traded funds. We've spoken, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about how some Bitcoin futures ETFs have now launched, which is really opening up the floodgates for more ETF products to be created there. And so, this is going to be no doubt one of many different sets of organizations getting into the space. And so what they've done is they've created a new legal entity in order to do this, but of course they're going to be up against a lot of other competition. The most recent launch that we saw was Valkyrie, but before that was ProShares, a strategy ETF, and the ProShares one that launched on October the 19th saw nearly 1 billion in volumes on its first day, and Valkyrie did theirs shortly after, which saw nearly $80 million in volume on its launch day. So it's certainly, it's a space that's really going to be hotting up, and no doubt has been driving a lot of the positive sentiment towards Bitcoin recently. Mastercard has announced a new partnership with the crypto exchange Bakkt in order to broaden the services that it offers to partner organizations that it works with. The goal here is that it's just going to simplify adding cryptocurrency support to partners of Mastercard. And so these sorts of partners, they include like banks, fintech firms, and so on. And the focus is going to be crypto investment tools and custodial wallets there. And so again, Mastercard, given how dominant they are in the payment space, like Visa, they're making a lot of inroads into the world of crypto and blockchain and finding new ways that their partners and users can actually engage with it. Another significant piece of news this week was Binance opening up applications for its marketplace. And this is, it's running a public beta for it, but the intent here is that it's going to be a marketplace where firms can actually offer services to the users of Binance, and so it's no doubt going to increase the types of products that will actually be available. So the idea here is that right now anyway, the Binance marketplace provides like a hotel booking services through Travala, but the idea is that they'll be able to do things like create and send gift cards, participate in launch pads, which are basically early access to investment events for blockchain and crypto firms, and even look at liquidity swapping type opportunities as well. And so given that Binance is the most dominant crypto exchange currently, it certainly has the potential to grow their overall ecosystem, because they're going to be bringing more innovative companies onto their platform to find ways in which they can help foster greater adoption. And it's kind of similar to what we're seeing with with other companies like Coinbase, for instance. We spoke previously about how they're launching an NFT platform, and it's this whole idea of beyond the actual crypto trading, what can all of these different exchanges do to grow their market share basically and help the overall space innovate too. Another piece of news, CoinList has achieved a valuation of $1.5 billion off the back of $100 million in funding. This was actually its Series A funding round. So, to get 100 million Series A, given that they're already quite a well-established force within the crypto sphere, it's a pretty significant achievement there. The actual backers here, you had Accomplice VC and Agman Partners who co-led the funding round, and then there was a number of other VCs behind the scenes as well. Certainly CoinList is a fascinating platform, because what they actually do is they have a platform that enables crypto projects and blockchain projects to actually list their tokens and raise funds from the public. So you can kind of think of it a bit like, what ICOs did, of course, ICOs still do in a decentralized manner, in that they allow people just to send crypto in order to get tokens in exchange. But the CoinList approach actually is much more focused on providing a platform for doing this, which isn't decentralized, but it gives people the similar sorts of opportunities to what they'd get participating in ICOs. And they've certainly managed to achieve some really high profile projects on this as well, because Solana, Dapper Labs and Filecoin have all actually raised investment on the platform there. So it's definitely going to be one that's continues to grow. They've only got 75 people right now, and apparently they're looking to double the head count in the next 12 months off the back of this. Another big piece of news this week was the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, which is a intergovernmental organization founded in 1989, focused off the back of the G7 to actually create policies to combat money laundering, has released its finalized crypto guidance containing clarifications on who falls under these recommended requirements. And so they first started looking at this space in 2019, and they've actually got their own vocabulary here as well, which is quite interesting, because they talk about, rather than crypto or digital assets, they talk about virtual asset service providers, which are really those firms that are working with providing crypto type services. There's a number of different jurisdictions which are paying close attention to these standards and are trying to implement the standards that FATF have actually been providing. What they've basically said with their guidelines is that virtual asset service providers, or VASPs as they're calling them, should meet the same standards that are applied to traditional financial companies, which obviously isn't a surprise as such, but it's important that they're speaking out about this. But some of the other interesting points around this, though, as well, was that they think it's important to actually analyze service providers based on what they provide, rather than how well they actually fit into the nomenclature that they've actually provided. And NFTs apparently aren't classified as virtual assets, but they could need to be regulated if they're being used in a way that falls under their broader guidance there. At this point, though, it's not clear how decentralized applications, whether they fall under the guidance or not. But it's certainly good to see this moving forward here anyway. That's all we have for this week in crypto. If you're interested in the key events taking place in DeFi, enterprise blockchain and protocols, or NFTs, please check out our other This Week in Blockchain episodes too. And if you want to find out more about the people behind the scenes, do check out our Blockchain Innovators podcast, where I speak to individuals who've made significant contributions to the blockchain ecosystem, find out what inspires these people, get their thoughts on the latest industry news and events spanning crypto, enterprise, protocols, DeFi, NFTs, and DAOs. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.